Well, have you guys seen this? Didn't take long for Chris Harris to respond on Twitter, and you should know we have reached out to Chris. If he's listening somehow, there's a open invite. We'd love to have Chris on.
Holla at your boy.
Holla at your boy. That's right. So within the past hour, the first tweet was Chris Harris responding to Adam Schefter's info about trading A.J. Bouye to the Broncos for a fourth-round pick. Chris Harris, congrats, little bro, A.J. Bouye. Wish you the best. So that insinuates there's some sort of personal relationship between A.J. Bouye and Chris Harris. I'm not sure exactly what it is. But
they had the same agent at one point.
Okay.
Chris, Fred Lyles, right? Old Freddie.
Good old Freddie.
Good old Freddie.
Freddie got fired.
Freddie got fired by Chris Harris.
But they shared.
But Freddie currently represents A.J. Bouye.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's a pretty direct connection. Other tweets from Chris. LOL. They might have to see me now. Hashtag Strap Harris.
Uh-oh.
That's pretty clear who he's talking about there, isn't it?
Whoa. Well, hold on. If it's not clear, make it a little more clear.
Well, that's talking about the Broncos might have to see him.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the team he was going to.
Talk about smoke in the city, 2-5.
Because he clearly has a team in mind.
Well, we get to the next tweet. Manny Q. Ooh, coming home, smiley face. Chris Harris responds. Interesting now with one of those emojis with
thinking emoji.
Thinking emoji. Thank you.
You gotta know your emoji. Get up on your emoji game.
Sorry, my emoji game is weak.
Yeah,
although
get up on it.
I do know what certain emojis mean now. Thank you, punters. Tyrann Mathieu.
Oh, gosh.
Always wanted of the Chiefs, Honey Badger, right? Super Bowl champion. To Chris Harris. Always wanted to strap up with you.
A lot of straps.
Could you imagine two of the shortest holding court every Sunday? Chris Harris. Tell your people to call my people, brother. It's on. Hashtag strap. Tyrann Mathieu back to Chris. Ha, more glory. They won a Super Bowl.
Man.
So
could you imagine seeing Chris Harris Jr.
I can't.
in another uniform, a ketchup bottle uniform?
Yeah, I can imagine him in another uniform, but a Kansas City Chiefs uniform,
wow.
I can't. I cannot imagine that. If that happens, that will go down as one of the all-time most uncomfortable things to happen for a fan favorite. You know, like you had Romo going to the Raiders. You had Brandon Marshall went to the Raiders, the linebacker. Who else? What are other names like that?
You can go way back. Lyle Alzado went from the Broncos to the Raiders. That was my childhood guy.
But Chris Harris is going to go to the top of that list if that happens.
You know, Emmanuel Sanders had a deal done with the Chiefs, and he ended up with the Broncos. That was a whole nother
that's different.
Crazy story.
Yeah.
Guys who end up on Orlando Franklin went to the Chargers.
What would your emotions be if you saw Chris Harris in a Kansas City Chiefs uniform? You would still root for the person.
Of course, you would root for him.
You would still be like a Chris Harris fan, but then you'd be like, wait a second, I can't be a Chris Harris fan if he plays for the Chiefs.
Not when he plays against the Broncos.
Talk about a conflict of interest.
What would I be sitting there like, yeah, way to blow up Cortland Sutton? I wouldn't be thinking that.
No, you wouldn't do
but
that.
Like the thing is, maybe it's different for players that have been in the league, but I know that I always have a personal vested interest in my friends.
Yeah, I'd want to see him do fine. I wouldn't root against him.
Yeah, exactly.
Except against the Broncos.
It's a conflict of interest, D-Mac. Just go with it.
Yeah, I'm going with it.
Gosh.
All right.
Ugh.
It would definitely
Playing
make
cards with my brother's kids.
The rivalry between the Broncos and the Chiefs that much more interesting, for sure.
Here's a text. Bouye ranked by PFF 75th.
I saw that. He graded out at 58.8.
Just got to be careful here. I'm so suspicious. On the surface, listen, Chris was gone, okay? Chris was gone, period. So what are you doing? And we put up all sorts of scenarios. We were like, trade for Darius Slay, maybe do that. We Byron Jones, Logan Ryan, Breeland. We listed all sorts of guys. I know you talked about them, but there wasn't a lot of talk about Bouye. Because on the surface, with a guy with 2 years left on his deal, and there wasn't a lot of trade talk really out there.
No.
If there was, I certainly didn't see it. But then again, so you go to the combine, and it's like, hey, we're trying to deal stuff. Now, I think it's smart just to look at cash-strapped teams and just be like, well, where are they going? What are they doing? So if you find a cash-strapped team that's terrible, like the Jacksonville Jaguars were, if you find a cash-strapped team that's really a good team, well, maybe they're just hanging on to win.
Well, let's keep the context of it in place here. I mean, let's just keep it real. Did you get better at corner? No, not in my mind. Nick, I know that you feel different. I know that you think that AJ is a better player. I don't think that you got a better player-for-player swap. I do not. Does that mean I don't like the deal? No. I think you got to keep the full context in the picture here, D-Mac, and I think it's okay to be a little bit skeptical and say, all right, well, there's clearly something that the Jacksonville Jaguars did not value him at $13 point whatever million it is. They didn't think he was worth that. Okay, that's fair to be a little bit hesitant about that. But also keep in mind, there's no dead money if you move on from him. You did a player-for-player swap. That's what you did. You traded Emmanuel Sanders for A.J. Bouye. All these things in mind, it's a dang good trade.
As D-Mac tries to figure out, what was wrong with A.J. Bouye. Remember this, that Jacksonville Jaguars would have now got rid of 2 of their top corners. They did it last year when they traded away Jalen Ramsey. So what was the problem with Ramsey? He was very outspoken. He didn't really like what they were doing there in Jacksonville. And yes, did he come with a hefty price tag? Absolutely. So you look at Bouye, another talented guy. Didn't really fit into what they want to do because last season they didn't fare that well in the win-loss category. They spent a lot of time defensively on the field because their offense could not move the ball. So did that expose Bouye more than other previous years? Maybe not so, right? But he still is a top corner, and bringing him here to Denver definitely makes that secondary that much better. But it also gives them options, which is the biggest thing. They don't have to take a corner and with that 15 pick or even the second-round pick. They can wait to the third round and grab another guy.
I agree with you on that. And I would say, too, we'll have to address all of our boards and what we're going to do, too. And I know we'll make adjustments today. But, see, I would still think like maybe Breland or Makamura would still be maybe in play somehow.
It's Prince.
Because, I mean, how much do you really trust Bryce Callahan? But the thought of like drafting a corner now in the first round and maybe even the second round, I think kind of goes out the window.
No, and honestly, if you go back to my number one goal on my offseason plan, what does it read, D-Mac?
Bring back Chris Harris.
On a 3-year deal.
Okay, all right. Well, that feels like that was not, that feels like a little bit of a buzzkill, but not really. Not really. Let's turn this around.
What do you mean?
My number one goal of the offseason was to address the corner position because it was a significant position of need that I did not want to have to address in the draft.
Okay.
So I still won.
Fair enough.
So does that mean that you're happy?
That wasn't even a back
to the testes there.
So
I was like sprinting forward that whole time. I never backpedaled. Not once.
Wait, so does this mean that you're all in favor of the Bouye, trade? You like him?
I mean, how many times do I got to say it was a great trade?
Dude, you got a little problem there.
I do.
Well,
No. Don't point out flaws.
You got Byron Jones over there on your free agent board.
That's the same thing. What are you talking about?
That's a free agent. Oh, that's the same thing?
It's the exact same thing.
So
that addresses my number one need.
Wait a minute. I thought the number one need was bringing back Chris Harris. But
No. That actually reads number one need, bringing back a corner.
Okay. No, that's what it translates to.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys need to check your glasses. That's not what that reads.
Right.
Well,
Read it again.
I'm going to need some kind of translation book to figure this out.